Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think a lot of the Ashe is your position, making sure it's
Mhm.
kind of similar to Surgeon a lot of times. It's just with Ashe, you have more burst potential. Let's take a look. I think definitely finding the position which allows you to have a great dynamite as well. It kind of seems like a similar thing as well at the start of the fight. Could we be using our cooldowns at the start, somehow get value out of the poke phase a little bit more? What's your thoughts?
Getting more value out of the poke phase.
Yeah, yeah.
If I know on some maps you can use dynamite to take high. You can use it to take high ground
Hmm?
if there's like no other accessible option.
Hmm. Yeah, what about your coach gun as well? Can you use it at the start for rotation?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure as well. So that is something you wanna keep an eye on too. I'm seeing just maybe find a way to use your coach gun right away so you position on the good angle where you're gonna be able to dynamite right away, yeah, because it's okay to dynamite early as well, kind of for the poke phase. As soon as you see big group of people, I think it's okay. Later, when the actual fight happens, kind of similar to what we talked about with the surgery, when the enemies are being really aggressive, you try to deny the aggression, just seeing what is more active angle you can keep an eye on. But yeah, at the start, don't forget, you wanna take advantage of the cooldowns there. But it's alright. Well, going after the Pharah, that makes sense. That's okay. It's going relatively well because you got a pick right away, so I think it's fine. Using your coach gun defensively to create some distance, that's always fine if they're being over aggressive on you. You
Mhm.
can kind of think about baiting the enemy in sometimes, but yeah, let's keep watching. Maybe we'll find some good examples where you can do that. Okay, that's good. That's good as well, potentially. You can do it slightly earlier, but again, using your coach gun earlier to just either win the duel or just for rotation, I think it's fine. You have high uptime this way. There's okay sort of sideline there too. Oh, dynamite gets blocked, but that's alright. Okay, just have some distance on those angles. Sure, well. What do you think? Your position here. Should we be at this position now? Should we rotate? Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Just way too in the open.
Hmm. That's one. Yeah, it feels like way too in the open. What is another thing about this position? What is another downside, maybe?
They have high ground.
Yeah, they have high ground up, and for threats like Brig and Genji, who has an advantage if you're at this position near tower? At least like where we at, we sort of play around this structure down there.
Uh, Bri and Genji do.
Hmm. So how do we create an advantage with our position? Where should we go?
Ramp the direction the point goes. Probably to those stairs where Bastion's at.
I'm thinking one of this. You might even go towards this one too, because this way you keep the enemy at your distance. You keep the enemies at your range.
Mhm.
It was great. You did rotate there. Yeah, I mean, why not? Probably. It's just again early phases of the fight, but this is still pretty valuable. You rotate now. Okay, great. I have a good sideline. Maybe not the best one, but it's still mid-range sideline. Later, you keep rotating because you know this guy's gonna close the gap with you. Just keep doing that if they get in close, especially if you know there's information. Well,
Mhm.
the brick is over there. We also might expect the Genji to be up there too. So just more constant rotations probably do, yeah, take advantage of the coach gun a little bit more to go for those rotations. It feels like at least just even at the start of the fight, it was kind of the same. We, yeah, maybe even here. Yeah, are we? Well, it's maybe not as needed because the enemy is holding really close, but just seeing, can I get greater sightline on all these guys? Yeah, is that possible for me? Yeah, so sort of what you do now, basically. Yeah, you get on the better sideline, long range right away. Yeah, that's what you want. Your ideal rules with your positioning, with your ability usage, yeah, let's say shift usage, you need some sort of long sideline, that's one, long range, and verticality potentially as well. I think we kind of talked about it as well in Surgeon. What is the difference between the Surgeon and Ashe, though, it feels like, with your positioning, though? What do you think are the main
Um,
differences?
with like Sojourn, you can have um, hmm, like Sojourn can take more aggressive Ogfangles
Agreed. Agreed, yeah, for
because
sure.
Sojourn's escape ability is a lot
Uh-huh.
it's a lot more mobile than Ash's because Ash is just a one directional boop, like basically like a reverse boop,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Soj is like a slide to jump. So like with Ash, you can take less aggressive off angles, unless you absolutely know you can get a kill on this super aggressive off angle and turn the fight. Um, you have to play like more passive on Ash.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. It's again. I'm thinking. Well, the term passive, I would be careful. Well, you still want to be proactive in a way, but if we saying it in a way that what passive means for us, we typically with Ashe we're gonna take closer angles to our team, so we'll be able to get the support, like I mentioned, with a surgeon, because you have greater mobility, more horizontal mobility as well. You can instantly slide in towards the angle, yeah, go really deep left or deep right. But Ashe is just not possible. That's why you kind of typically with Ashe somewhere kind of here-ish, you still taking an angle, but if I'm saying, well, soft, yeah, who would be taking soft angles? Well, maybe on your pool, it would be something like Cassidy. Cassidy would be somewhere like closer to this side. So Cassidy is here, Ashe is maybe here, and Surgeon is somewhere there. I mean, again, it's not the most accurate, but still, it's kind of what it looks like a lot of times. Yeah, Cassidy, Ashe, yes, Surgeon, just Surgeon, they having hard
Mhm.
angles, but it does not mean we cannot take advantage of your shift still. You still go for the rotation. So what you did, yeah, what you're doing there, the start is great. Now you have the sideline. I don't like it. Again, we kind of keep the sideline, but there's another layer as well. Why I don't like the sideline? What do you think? If you dueling this Widowmaker, I think we talked about that as well. Actually, what's the downside if you keep the same position here?
She can just hold her reticle in that angle and just like basically
Right?
pre-fire,
Right, right. So what's the solution?
move to a different angle.
Yeah, you need to move faster. You need to move and probably just go over there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you don't even want to duel with this Widowmaker. I
No,
think.
yeah, I was dueling her and I was like, I'm so outside my damage range. I'm doing like 10 damage. Yeah, I'm doing like no damage. I see the brig in my face. I'm like, yeah, I kind of gotta stop this anyways.
Right. She's even repeaking another angle, which is really it's
Yeah, she repeat two different angles.
exactly, and you don't exactly know if she's gonna go left or right. That's why it's like harder for you to
I
get a
could
kill.
see her I could see her name tag and health bar above the barrier.
Ah, well, yeah. It's wait. You can see because of what again?
So when she peeked the first corner twice,
Hmm.
I think you were able to see the health bar.
Oh,
Like
I
when I
see, I
did the
see,
damage.
I
Yeah,
see,
like
I
right
see.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then now I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just probably like going for those snag shots. You see, it's just kind of really long duel. While I think she
Mhm.
peaked twice there, then she peaked once here. You 100% should go somewhere else. It's just we stay at the same sideline, makes it so much easier for her to headshot you. But she did actually. She kind of there's some damage towards you. Yeah, it's one of the slayers too. I don't think it's the most important, but it's kind of you got the coach gun, see if you can use it for rotation without getting yourself killed. And there's something we could have gotten actually. Yeah, you just need to keep an eye on. Mainly, it's the Genji, the Brig. I think Genji especially, and later we can try to rotate. Once we know where they are, you can also poke them a little bit. Yeah, like now, okay, there's no bubble, maybe, and then you see, okay, yo, Sigma is pushing up. I can take the angle as long as I know there's kind of longer range distance. You might even walk there, actually. Maybe if you're concerned about this, which I understand, yeah, if the Genji goes on us, but at least trying to go for the sideline. You just keep walking, probably. I
Hmm.
think you can be also fine if short range threats might be present. Yeah, sure, but you need to rotate. It feels rotate, create the threats, create the threat potential. The Bob is really interesting ult too. Let's see how we use it. Yeah, they have sights. Can wait and then poke the Genji out. Sure, we got him. Nice. Yeah, we didn't really focus on the dynamite. Let's maybe focus on that a little bit more too. So
Hmm.
the dynamite for the pokes are fine. Bob, how do you use your Bob, by the way?
I try to use it where so mainly like trying to get it if I can make them turn around
Mm-hmm.
is one thing, or have it to where um you either have to peek me or you peek Bob. So like either I get
Mm-hmm.
to shoot for free on you or Bob gets to shoot for free on you.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule. Usually, yeah, you kind of want to create an angle with the Bob and just seeing what he does. Yeah, if you're pushing certain space, okay, this Bob does something. He pushes my space, and meanwhile, I'm creating threat potential from the another angle. However, when you saw the Bob like that, what are you saying with this? What is that space you're looking to control?
So here, Bob kind of. I mean, obviously, it like splits the back line from
Mm-hmm.
the Genji and the Zarya.
Exactly.
So the two supports can't peek as easily, and then if Bob can't see the supports, just gonna shoot on the two up front. And then if the
Mm-hmm.
two supports try to take a different ramp, I can shoot them if they try to come through that top door too,
Hmm.
like the one right below Widow.
Hmm. I see. I see. So okay, this Bob I just watched, what they just did. Yeah, their lanes, kind of their backline, yeah, their members. So see, in terms of expectations, if the Bob runs this way, you expect the angles to try to kite him. Yeah, basically, at least what it's gonna do. Yeah, if he's gonna end up there, then the Zarya is gonna be this angle with Zarya and Genji. They're gonna go towards this way, kinda. At this angle, I would say, well, again, because they're trying to use the cover typically, yeah, whenever there's a big, there's some sort of activity going on, well, you still expect those guys to go towards some sort of covers. So I'm saying this might play here, maybe go back later. This might play here, go back. Maybe this Brig will try to rotate, but they will have to do it with the bash and try to play defensive. And I'm just seeing those angles, C and B. What is easier for you to catch, probably, if you place the ball? Yeah, what is easier for you to take advantage of? You see, if the
B
angles are getting, trying to hide this way. Yeah, what do you think?
Probably B.
B, well, it can be. It can be that, but
Well,
I think,
out of
yeah.
out of all three angles,
Mm. What are the easiest ones, probably?
A.
Hmm. YA?
Because they're out in the open, and then they're also gonna move more towards where my team is at, and I also kind
Mm.
of have an angle. If they move into that hallway, I can shoot down the
Mm-hmm.
hallway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I think too. Usually because with the Bob, you're trying to more like pincer. You're trying to pincer, and I think that's completely reasonable what you mentioned there. Maybe those other angles run away as well, especially in the back line. You might not necessarily just get the A, but ignore the A and try to push something else. But I think because of the map layout, it seems pretty hard, and just based on where the enemies are, too. At least the back line. The back line, they have relatively, well, some sort of mobility too, so it might be tough a lot of times. I'm thinking at the short range space too. here, I have to deal with that, and this castle here that's easy to cut for Juno. I'm thinking your rule of thumb is I'm thinking what is that area I'm pushing, and make sure you have a sideline on that area as well. If the Bob got the sideline, I have the long range sideline. I think this is definitely easier because these guys are gonna they just think, oh, okay, there's a Bob, yeah, and you completely cut off their defensive rotation. Typically, those are your targets. So I'm just gonna say, with Bob, try to shoot. Yeah, I'm just putting it in notes. Shoot targets. Yeah, let's say shoot targets where you notice. Yeah, if you notice that you did cut off that defensive rotation. Yeah, if they have that defensive rotation cut, yeah, you pencil them with a Bob, then you try to shoot those targets a little bit more. I think ideally those targets are easier to kill typically, and they're also in your kill zone in a way. This this box where well your team can do more. I think it's might be okay. Yeah, so in some situations, as I mentioned, to go over some other guys there, it just seems like maybe not is not that situation here. Then probably maybe even position your Bob. I don't know, maybe well, in this case, it might be tough. You can be creative, actually, sometimes. You can maybe go here and then use the Bob, but there's a Widow, so you cannot do so. So I'm thinking, probably seeing what you can do here. And then if there's no possibility, then yeah, I just kind of sow the Bob, and then maybe like you did from here, then move towards this angle. It's gonna be probably like this side on here, the start is sort of seeing, okay, where if they're gonna go towards the right cover, let's shoot them. If not, yeah, then you peek even wider, yeah, and this is what the problem is. You kind of the Bob is okay, actually getting wild. It's just what are you shooting when the Bob does this? This short range strat as well is something what could be punishing us too. I think you need to, if possible, have long sightlines, have distance against short angles like that one too. Breaking through the choke is tough though. That's why, yeah, you can find a way to be creative, of course, but yeah, Dynamite is good for the kill. Yeah, if you can get a kill, I think it's fine. Yeah, you need to rotate faster, I think. It's just where do you go? How do you keep your distance? I'm seeing it as predicting where the fight is gonna be. Where should you go now? Right away. Where should you be?
They're trying to go across the bridge.
Yeah, can be across the bridge, yeah. Yeah, anywhere else or?
I'm not sure.
It's just your rotation as well, thinking, well, if you get to across the bridge, then you will have to go inside, right? It's kind of, or, well, can you make this jump with the shift?
If you, I think if you jump first and then
Yeah,
use it.
well, yeah, I just want to be careful, but yeah, probably, you can make it, yeah. Might do that. Even moving this cart is okay, but I'm thinking, this angle where, yeah, I kind of get stuck, so... It feels like I just need to have more space, long range space as well between the enemy most of the time. Yeah, you kind of sometimes lean towards those short range corridors, and then it might be easier to punish with those characters like Zarya, Juno there especially. Just don't want to limit your sideline. See this downtime as well. Whenever you're getting pushed in those tiny areas, it's just not good for you. I'm thinking you need to have this more open space as much as possible. So even though you're on a main, which sometimes might be not as good, it's just if you're getting pushed, you still have continuous opportunities to shoot anything you want. You can shoot this angle here, you have distance. If I'm starting here, I have distance from this. So it's kind of distance from angles. Yeah, I think it's really, really important. I'd say your position. Okay, we need what? Some sort of... Just making sure, yeah, you control more open space. Control more open space, and you're trying to... trying to set up there with your shift, possible. At the start, yeah. Because this is where it's downtime. If you're trying to rotate, yeah, you could be shooting like at least 3 times already, and if it's that a hard shot, maybe you got a kill. And here, want to be careful with this. I think even though cart needs to be contested, I think
Yeah, I
I,
mean, there were two of us, and my carrier was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna use ult," and I was like, "It's a 2v4.
mm,
We're using ult in a 2v4. This it's not really gonna work."
yeah, I think it's tough. Yeah, that's kind of similar thing. You don't have distance on
Hmm.
where should you go with the angle? You scared this guy away. He used the roll. You shoot him away. Long range angle. What's your next long range angle?
Probably going left.
Just go left. Yeah. You can even just walk. Or again, this option where we go with a shift is not as bad as well. You just have to end up on some sort of ledge. If
Hmm.
short angles are pushing you like Genji, you always can have an option to drop and it'll be fine. Might be this. Going left is okay too. You also have great distance. This way you have sharpest sideline on. I definitely don't go here. It's more like gas angle, so
Yeah.
it's gonna make it hard. Yeah, don't be afraid to use a shift for sure. I think at the start, just get the position. If you have distance, you should be okay. If you don't have distance, then you keep your shift. If you know they can really get closer to you. That's why
Hmm.
here I think you probably don't. Yeah, might you you might think about using your shift here, even though your teammates are pushing up. It just feels less comfortable, especially in a short range space like this. And short range angles that can go on you. I think you're dead there. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way to survive this. You just.
Yeah.
Hmm. What do you think? Where could you go as well? Maybe you don't want to use your shift, sure, because the short range angles want to attack, but where
I
do
mean,
you
when
want to
the
go?
when the Genji when the Genji dashed away, I could have went up on I could have used Coach Gun to go on top of the castle
Yeah.
after he went
Yeah,
away.
but this is a good solution, I think. Yeah, and well, you can wait a little and then go. Maybe you can also take the stairs sometimes. I think this is fine. If your team is pushing, you just gotta time it. The sick is pushing. Okay, I have my long sideline, even though it's more separated. Well, fine. It's still better than playing short range space. So, yeah,
Hmm.
I think this. Okay. Yeah, dynamites. I don't know. I don't dynamites. It feels like sometimes. Well, you did miss sometimes, but at the start, dynamite's been fine. Just when you use it in the poke phase, and then later you been using it to get some kills too. I think it's a reasonable. Like maybe here you have some downtime. You could be using just sowing the dynamite to the spots where you might expect the enemies taking advantage of the poke phase again, if you like.
Hmm.
But later you can think about again who is active, what active angles we're pushing. Maybe I can dynamite them. Yeah, like this guy. They're pushing me. Well, fine. They're also active. Maybe slightly wait a little bit longer to confirm, but this is I think good enough. Did you hit it? No,
Yeah,
almost.
they're too far away.
No, it's kind of just slightly more commitment from them, maybe. But yeah, this is this is scary. Yeah, I just don't want to go here. I think you wanna take, even though it seems like yes, it's a longer route, but rather do this, go here, maybe jump over this. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, this guys will wait for you there. Okay. Yeah, there's more in rotation. Well, Bob, did we get to? I think we used Bob once, right? We didn't have another
Yeah.
Bob. Yeah,
No,
there's
I
a
didn't
lot.
get another one.
Because I think you can. Yeah, this is the part of the downtime. Yeah, because you can have higher uptime. I think you will farm Bob faster if you have good spaces to control, and just you will not play in those short range spaces as much. You just using your shift, going along long sideline to long sideline constantly. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, let's maybe watch some of the defense. Maybe let's see how your dynamite's there, and well, maybe rotation. So we can do a game after. What do you think? Do you have time to do anything with
Um,
your cooldowns at the start?
at the start, definitely could go to the door and like on Soj where I just like poke at the door. I could throw the dynamite at the door and
Hmm.
then Coach went away. Um, I don't remember what I was doing here. I was like I don't know if I think I got a text message and I had to respond to it. So I
Ah,
like
I see.
so I only had like 3 seconds when I got it. Normally it's what I do like back when I used to play Hanzo and like Far a bunch. I would like poke at the door. I'd throw the Sonic arrow at the door, see if they're playing and whatever. That's normally what I do on this map anyways. I throw a cooldown at the door.
Yeah, that's good usually. That's good usually, I think. And maybe you can also take sharper sidelines sometimes. At the start, you can go for some shots and then use your shift to rotate. Say similar to Surgeon, really. Yeah. And then later, when the fight starts, I think you just need more commitment with this. This is what it feels like. Sometimes we miss Dynamite because we kind of maybe a little bit not as patient. You need to say, okay, what angle? Maybe also expecting, yeah, where the activity might happen, yeah, what kind of location, and then seeing actually, yeah, seeing that there's activity going on, yeah, because this feels like it's bigger Dynamite if you hit it. Obviously, you don't know that the enemy is gonna end up there, but this seems like a big commitment, at least. Yeah, there's commitment. Okay,
Mhm.
I saw the Dynamite. Yeah, being more precise. Mm, you can maybe have this rule of, well, just your teammates want to follow up the Dynamite. Yeah, most of them, while these guys are burning, and maybe even think, how do I put it? Because these guys are burning. Okay, think about it this way: if they're pushing through the choke, like here, or like maybe somebody's pushing this way on the left side, if they're burning in those areas and you saw Dynamite at them, yeah, just now when they entered A or B, then they have two choices. Similar to Surgeon E, they have to either go back, waste a lot of time while burning, most likely they will die to some of the poke damage as well because they already entered the areas. And another thing is if they go forward while burning, well, then they take a lot of damage too. So a lot of it is just positional triggers. Looking at them actually committing, walking past the corner. Okay, if the
Mhm.
angle walks past the corner, then you probably saw the Dynamite. I think it can be really great. Yeah. So let's say in just make sure an enemy walks past the corner. And it's mainly brawl phase. It's just mainly when this actual fight happens, okay, I can deny this aggression. Just before, I think you heard the tracer, it feels, yeah? That's why I see the
Yeah.
dynamite.
I
Yeah,
started. I thought she was gonna go that way. I thought she was gonna peek so I could like shoot the dynamite and then hit her, but she ended up going back main.
yeah. So it's basically up. You just want to see if there's big positional commitment. I think would be really good if you hit dynamite on Tracer too. Why not? You can maybe force out the recall. It's yeah, it could happen, but it's just no positional commitment yet. Maybe just seeing them actually walking first. And big group
Yeah.
of people too. There's another thing, another layer, because this is AoE damage. Really, it's bigger AoE compared to Surgeon. So you want to fight for those, yeah, those areas where, how do I put it? Yeah, it's just where do you expect the enemy to clump? You're like throwing the dynamite and it chokes. Okay, that's one. So throw dynamite and chokes. Mm, fight for chokes. That's one thing. And another thing, because you're more of a long range character, you are able to take advantage of long range spaces too. So it's kind of, if I compare dynamite on the left side to this side where it's more open, it's easier for me as Ashe to follow up on the damage which is on main here. Might be
Yeah.
one
I
of
got
this.
you.
Yeah. So it's another thing. Usually, a sword dynamite's on open. So dynamite's on open. And how do you make a decision? It's just based on all those triggers together. Yeah. Maybe enemy walks past the corner. Maybe there's a choke, and also you know that could be done dynamite on open. Typically, dynamite is gonna be in this area once the enemy starts walking. He's just gonna be kind of right there, like we mentioned. Yeah. Right
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had it, that would have been pretty good.
Yeah. It's just some sort of similar, well, some sort of general figures or want to recognize that those could be helpful. That's fine. Early dynamite, well, kind of have time when your team is resetting. You get another dynamite, seeing Who is making a commitment? You need to rotate probably as well. Don't well, you segment
Yeah.
they don't touch, but
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on him to go this way, and I was probably gonna go around the left to create like
yeah,
an off angle.
yeah. I
But he
think
went left, and I
yeah,
was like, "What?"
yeah. I think you need the left side is definitely a better one. Yeah, they got booped there.
This is the exact same. That's the exact way I play on cast. I go around that left. Like if we're gonna go for a recontest, my tank will go through that main door, and I'll go to the left, and I'll just shoot on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Okay. This might work. You have this own sideline there. Sure. The top is even better, potentially, just for the good
Yeah, I
damage
knew that the
output.
tracer was down there, so I didn't want her to walk up in there for
Mm,
free.
yeah. No positional commitment yet, I think. Just wait,
Yeah, I thought her.
wait. Yeah. It's kind of not too bad there because of the fight is kind of over. Yeah, Sig is also... I think they used an ultimate too. Yeah, they just did. And
Wait, flowers.
yeah. And they're already at 2 picks right now, so it's not too bad. But anyway. Now you have time for early dynamites. You can peek sharp sideline if you like to. You can even push up if your team is pushing up that far. You can
Yeah.
drop long sideline, reposition. Don't just stay. Later you retake a position. It might feel like a lot of work sometimes. It's just walk and then later you walk back, you jump and then yeah. But this is how you play. You have to reposition. Probably if you drop there, you kind of go up the stairs there. I think. Or maybe
Yeah.
to have the sharpest sideline. Yeah, but definitely not this. You need to rotate.
Mm.
It does make sense why we have to
Yeah.
rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
What do you think about the dynamite?
Um, I feel like I mean it's in main. It's they're moving forward.
Hmm.
Um, would have been better if the background was more forward, but um, I feel like maybe if I did it on the Genji, it would have been better because I think I had two teammates like right there.
Ah, maybe. Yeah, actually,
I
maybe.
did. He could my Genji definitely could have confirmed that kill if I dynamite the Genji
Hmm.
because the Genji's walking forward, and if I throw the dynamite on him, he's probably gonna keep walking into that little hallway to the right.
That might zone him out in this unfavorable spot, yeah? And your teammates can push him. That's what you mean, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense, yeah. Anyway, a dynamite on main actually makes sense too, because, well, there's also might be a possibility to hit other members, most likely walking through this. It's just we see it again, those 3 triggers. Making sure an enemy walks past the corner. Also seeing, are we fighting for chokes? There's a great choke there too. Another thing is you throwing a dynamite towards more open areas. So actually main is not that bad, let's say. Well, even though it's Hog, the Genji is kind of good target too. But this guy might be harder for you to follow up. Well, it's possible though. It's still I'm seeing this target is fine. This target is fine. Mm, you know what I have in mind? Maybe another layer. Yeah, they just throw at us. Maybe this target can be slightly better because this is something what can punish you potentially. This is something what can get close and kill you. Whereas the hog, it's easier to dodge for you the range because of the just projectile time, and if you're playing your range, I don't think it's really hard for him to do stuff. So maybe, yeah, this can be like an additional trigger. Yeah, it might be good to write it down. We gotta throw dynamite towards shorter range targets. Whoever can close the distance on us. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. Let's see the Bob actually, and then maybe we can do a game after. No, what's his thoughts?
It's kind of bad, kind of,
Hmm.
because only the hog and the Genji were forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We
the
don't
break,
have a great sideline maybe to shoot something what we cutting off
yeah,
as well, right?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the greatest positioning for really. Um, hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, you probably well, what you could have done better with this. Maybe rotate somewhere. Maybe yeah. What do you think? Maybe
Yeah, I
sow it
could
early
have
or.
I could have rotated to the like the bridge high ground on the right,
Mm.
like the back right, and thrown Bob maybe more towards the corner that the brig is currently on. And she's right there next to the cart.
Yeah, it might be if I go well. Feels like sharper sideline. If the fight is already this is being pushed forward more and more, and we have this sharper sideline here. I think this is
Or
pretty decent. Yeah,
maybe I could also go to the left on the left on those stairs on the near coast.
possibly. Yeah, actually, might be. Yeah, might be. I'm thinking.
It'd just be a really aggressive angle.
Yeah, well, it can work. It can work. Then you gotta set it up earlier. Then, and I think it's
Mhm.
not too bad for sure if you do that. Actually, have more proactive angle. Just as soon as these guys walk, okay, they walk in my space. You saw the dynamite at a good target. Whoever can punish you, especially Genji, I think in this case, is gonna be more worth it because yeah, you're gonna be isolated there, and then stuff happens. You go for your ultimate, and why it's good, just from rank mentality, in my opinion, because of you use your ultimate first. You don't. You prevent your team from feeding their own ultimates, their own resources in a way. Use the ultimate first. Okay, maybe there's most likely win the fight with this, and then later your teammates have their own ultimate, but you farm in second one already, where your teammates you don't know a lot of times what if they're gonna use their ultimates, good or bad, but they can always control your own ultimates. Actually, I like it. Yeah, more proactive position. Yeah, more aggressive angle. If you have Bob, why not? Yeah, and just
Mhm.
going towards those more favorable areas. I'm pincerring something. Yeah, if you cut off the rotation of something, yeah, I'm cutting off this guy there, or maybe I'm cutting off something else. Then you have to also shoot this. Yeah, you have to keep an eye on what this Bob is gonna force the enemy to do, and make sure you have a long sideline on those angles. And here, this is typically this is gonna be here. So this would be fine position if you play for late Bob, and this would be better for early